Hi, welcome to Step 7, reviewing the certificate creation process. Allowing access to a cluster in Kubernetes can be done in one of two ways, either through a name password submission or by using what are called security certificates, in this case TLS, Transport Layer Security Certificates. The certificate creation process is multi-phase, and the phases are dedicated to both the developer user and also to the system administrator. And as you can see in the diagram over here, the user has 4 steps he or she is going to use, and the administrator has 4 steps he or she is going to do. I didn't mean use up here, I meant do. And so what's going to happen is in step 1 is the user will create a search directory, and in that search directory we're going to declare a user. And the way we're going to declare a user is by creating what's called a user key. Then after the user key is created, and it's created using OpenSSL, which we'll look at in the steps that follow, then the user is also going to create a file called a certificate signing request. What will happen is the user will take the RSA user key and the certificate signing request and somehow get those 2 certificates to a security administrator in your company. Then what will happen is the security administrator will take the user key and the certificate signing request, and using those 2 certificates create what's called the cert. And the cert is done within the system administrator's workload. Users do not get to create their cert. Only system administrators do. Excuse me. Once the cert and the key is created, they will be embedded into the Kubernetes config file within a distinct context. Then what will happen is either when the user gets the configuration file, he or she will be sent the configuration file. He or she will be able to switch into the new context as the new user. But in many cases, what the system administrator will do is the system administrator will send the user a configuration file that is limited only to the role activity that that user can do. So in other words, it's a really limited config file. It doesn't have all the administrative stuff embedded. For educational purposes here, we're going to look at the configuration file that has both the user and the administrator. In other words, we're going to create a configuration file that has both the user and the administrator. In the real world, this would never happen, but for educational purposes, we're going to display it.